questions are the way to go. Good questions like that are specific, with a real goal in mind. So I love that question.
All right, being an avid Bored Ape Yacht Club guy, big news in the space. ApeFest has been announced. It's going to be happening August the 26th. It's going to be in Hong Kong. So it's got a lot of mixed opinion. Yeah.
Interesting.
Going to be sorry, not August the 26th. It's going to be in November the 3rd to the 5th in Hong Kong. August the 26th. They're doing something somewhere else, but the big one is going to be in Hong Kong. So a lot of different mixed results here. A lot of the community Bored Ape Yacht Club guys are very upset because the laws in Hong Kong against smoking weed are very, very strict. And the Bored Ape Yacht Club holders, most of them like their weed. So they're not so happy that a 3-day sort of festival is gonna not include weed. Going to be interesting to see how many people actually end up going. I mean, because you literally have to, buy an airplane ticket to Hong Kong, organize accommodation. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. But they have, like always, created a great website to promote it. I guess, if you in Web3, and Kate, I'd be really interested to see what you think here. If you're a business in Web3, a big business, the whole thing is about bringing people together. Like the whole thing that took Clone X from 8 ETH to 2 ETH overnight pretty much was when they did a drop which was only eligible for Americans. Where they said you can only claim the shoe with the chip inside if you're an American. Now, they didn't do that to go against anyone. They did that because the technology can't be shipped overseas and shipping laws and whatever. But we saw that made everyone feel that, look, you don't understand. Your market is worldwide. That's what Web3 is. It can unite Philip and Cade sitting on other sides of the globe who have become really close friends. That would never happen otherwise. That's what Web3 is. You don't understand Web3. So I think, what Bored Ape Yacht Club is showing here is that they do understand Web3. And I would imagine next year it will be a completely different continent in a completely different country. And so they're not expecting all 10,000 of their holders, obviously, to pitch up. 10,000 of their Bored Apes mutants also can come. So that's 20,000 people. They're not expecting those 30,000 people to pitch up. They know that. But what they're going to do is they're going to go all in 30 years, they will have been all the to every continent, with a population worth going, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's quite bullish. And if you just have a look here, you can always go to this website. It's just apefest.com. Obviously, don't click on any links just in case you type it out wrong. But they're saying there's going to be local gems, so I'm sure they'll have some great local entertainment, community events, new merchandise, chill outs, hangouts, citywide, which is interesting to see what that's going to mean. And you can also join virtually. So what I'm interested to see is if they're going to use the other side for that. Because that will be really, really incredible. Because remember, the guys who are developing the other side have got a company that does do events overseas or international events where there's one big singer in the middle and you can come from anywhere and speak to people. So I think that would be the obvious play, but I don't know if it's ready yet. But I think that would be incredibly bullish. So again, if you've got Bored Ape Yacht Club or Mutant Ape Yacht Club NFT, you get in and you get a +1. Okay. Other than that, you won't be able to get in. You get free admission, Ape Meet Ape, citywide experience. So they're saying here, Ape Fest events will take place all over Hong Kong, something for every vibe, some more details to come so you can plan ahead. I think they need to give details pretty soon because with international travel, people do want to plan very much ahead. Great. Then also join the fun globally. It says can't make it to Hong Kong with a way for apes to participate virtually. And we're also working with the Bored Ape Yacht Club community to host in real life events globally. Yeah, man. So that's what's happening. What do you think, eh?
This is like one of the best things I've seen from Bored Apes. The only thing that two things. One, if they're actually mad because they can't smoke weed, then I have truly lost faith in that entire community. For sure. If that's actually like why they're mad.
I thought you would have gained respect for them.
No, dude. I mean that just shows how look, it's funny, but it's like it just shows how like weak the community is. Like if that's really why you won't go to China, that's cool. You want to go to China. Why would you not want to go and travel to Asia? Like, bro, that's got to be a joke. There's no way. It's like, I hope they're joking, but if they're not, that scares me. However, it also shows that it shows the lack. Like you see the clear lack because it's like, all right, you're gonna go to China, which normally if I was a brand that I was excited to be part of, I'd be stoked because there'd be a reason I'm in that community that it's like true to my being. Like that's why I'm there, you know. But with Bored Apes, it's only tied to the monetary value that they were able to get. And once that hype fades, sort of, and that you know, the date of which that you gained all that money has kind of drifted into the past a little bit, you don't really care as much. You go there and you're like, all right, especially if I'm sober, you can't even smoke weed. You're like, all right, why would I go to this Ape Fest? I don't have anything in common with these apes. There's no brand that holds us together.
No,
Like, what is the brand that holds them together?
you're missing you're missing it. It's an exclusive sort of relationship building opportunity.
Well,
So you
I
get
see.
to
I don't
meet.
understand that, but like, what about the exclusivity inside? Once you're in the exclusive thing, what is the value they provide that is so exclusive besides just getting
But
in?
networking.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Network with who? Like
with other people that
yeah,
can
keynotes
afford
that people actually can help fund with.
150,000 PFP. They must have, so it's a networking event. And you can have fun at the same time. But at the end of the day, you get to meet high net worth individuals that there could be synergy, business wise. And there could be other synergy because very few people in the world will spend this sort of money on a thing. So what does it mean? I've got someone that I've got something in common with. So straight away there's a connection. We either both idiots because we've spent, whatever we've spent, or we're both geniuses. But either way, we're both the same. So there's an automatic bond from a social perspective. And then you've also got the ability for the networking event and the ability to have an experience. It's almost like those tours. So now you're going to have sort of a trip planned out for you, 3 days. You can choose to stay longer than that if you want. I mean, I get it.
The
I think
experience is lit,
unless
that's different. If
yeah,
if the experience you go to and the things that are provided for you are dope, then it's different. But if you go and there's no brand there, and when you get there, it's just a bunch of like parties. It's like one of those things where like this is why people are mad because they would for sure maybe yeah I'll go to New York for that, whatever, to China just for the same thing. I don't see that happening. I think that's why there's not as much excitement, because for me this should be the most exciting thing that they've put on almost ever. In my opinion, it should be, and it doesn't seem like that's the case, at least from what you said to me in the very beginning. But maybe it's not. I don't know.
no, so I think when it gets closer to time, it might be. Another thing that's interesting because you asked, I'm looking for the tweet while I'm talking to you. They also recently said that they're going to be building up in a much bigger way. They're going to be building up a ape to ape marketplace where people can meet and exchange ideas and things like that. I don't know what they're calling it. Not a marketplace to sell your ape to each other, but where you can network virtually.
That's cool.
So they did, and so they're seeing the value in that. They definitely are. Yeah, look, I mean, you got to sort of understand it to do it. The other thing is you got to remember there's a lot of people that have built, forget the airdrops and forget the free PFPs and forget everything, all the money that you made if you minted a Bored Ape or even bought one under 20 ETH in the beginning and you got a mutant, a dog and a land and ApeCoin and all the rest of that. Forget all of that. There's a lot of people that built massive businesses and brands off their IP of a Bored Ape. I mean, the Bored Ape was really one of the first ones to give you proper rights over your PFP. And so you could just get ideas from other people. I mean, I just think there's going to be a lot of brand representation there from the people who have done it. Yeah, I mean, look, it's an interesting approach, but I do think that they've hit the nail on the head. I would have just said next year to be held, and I would have actually given that location now, just so people could sort of put together what we're saying, that this is their intention, that every year they're going to do it somewhere different. If you can't make it this year, you'll make it next year. But I think a lot is going to hinge on how they're able to do this virtually, how well they pull that off for the people that aren't able to be there in person. And if they do that well, this could be incredibly bullish for the project.
Yeah. I see Crypto Dreaming here saying China enslaved